And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 81 of the Sling'N podcast. I'm TJ.
And I'm Kent.
And joining us in the hot seat, you might recognize him from the Apache Solutions crew. We have the one and only Joel Trey, Joel Hardison from Snapshots.co joining us. What's up, Joel?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Thanks for having me on.
It's good, man. It's been a long time coming. It's about time you got some, a little bit of a moment in the spotlight. So we're happy to have you.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so as you have been on the show before, though not in the star capacity that you so deserve, why don't you go ahead and tell all the folks at home who the hell you are?
So I'm Joel Trey, Joel, Redbeard. I've got many names. It's kind of confusing sometimes. But I'm just a regular guy. I've been training with Apache for a while. I met Tim and Frank like maybe more, a few years ago. And so I trained with them and realized how much I didn't know about guns. And I've just stuck with them and trained with a bunch of other people here and there. And then I found photography, along the road, kind of an accident. I never thought I'd be doing this, but it surprised me. So I just kept doing it and figured out I really liked it. And so here I am now with, running guns and a camera at Apache all the time.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, if it's any testament to your skills, at least behind the camera, folks, there's a reason why his shit looks way better than mine or Kent's ever will.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, man, we're still on public broadcasting. He's a syndicated television host.
It took me like 4 hours to figure this out today, so not that.
Yeah. We're just not that. We won't even make show notes.
This looks like the aliens are interviewing like the local TV news.
No, Joel's the local news guy, and we're the two idiots in the trailer park in Missouri that can't figure out why the tornado done took our house.
Yeah, that is absolutely true.
But no, man, that's good stuff. We're certainly happy to have you. So I'm curious. I think this is the question that our audience is waiting with bated breath. What do you prefer to be behind, the gun or the camera?
And that's really hard. Really hard. Man, I'm gonna say I think I have more fun behind the gun. But I can't shoot a gun all the time, Ammo is really expensive, and so is training. So I think I enjoy running a gun a lot more, but cameras are pretty close second. It's not far behind at all, and it's useful, for a lot broader span of time. So I spend more time behind a camera, so I ought to be better at a camera, right?
Right. Well, and people don't typically freak out when you point the camera at their face.
Well, a lot of folks don't like that.
Yeah,
everybody, they just turn to a statue.
Okay, no one calls the police when you point the camera at their face.
Different level of freak out.
Yeah, there you go. Karen wanted to speak to a manager is a different story. But so
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your company. So how long has Snapshots been running? Like, how long have you formally been running it, and how long have you been kind of doing it hobby? When about that time did you take that leap over to kind of making a business out of this?
So funny, I got notification on my phone like a week ago, marking 1 year that I've been doing some work for Apache, and that was maybe a week before I got my first camera. So I'd say it's been a hobby for majority of that time. Really, I started Snapshots probably like 2 months ago. So I quit my job, went full time with it, and seeing how far I can take it. It's pretty new. It's a slow takeoff, but it's hard to find people that want. You can't just knock on every single door and say, "Hey, can I take pictures of you shooting guns?"
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's totally acceptable. As the referee,
do that.
I will allow it and encourage it.
Okay, well, maybe I should try a different tactic.
Yeah. So, all right. So, give us the pitch. Tell us about Snapshots. Tell us where people can find you. I want to get this shameless plug out of the way right up here in front early in the show before we typically lose our audience's interest like
Fair
we
enough.
usually do.
Fair enough. So you can find me on Instagram, and my website is snapshots.co. So like .com minus the M. Landon actually made fun of me for that one. It's a little bit of a complicated name, but the snapshot for the S.com was $20,000, so we couldn't quite afford that.
Well, hold on. Wait. Rodney tells me it's www.snapshotswithaz.com minus the M.co. That's not it?
No, that's incorrect. It's just .co.
Okay. Please see the following text message thread.
No, Rodney, that's not it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Sorry, Rodney.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Never do that again.
Right?
And I haven't made it on Facebook yet. I don't like Facebook, but it seems to be a lot more effective for businesses. So I probably should make the leap over there.
I will say this though, as someone who has kind of a small business side hustle, I dabble in the whole knife making thing.
Mm-hmm. I know I have one of them.
Right? You earned one of them, as a matter of fact, sir. As a testament to your shooting skills. But I will say this: anything that you do that's going to be photography heavy, like what helps my knives gain traction is beautiful photography, or at least the best that I could possibly do. Right. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't turn away Instagram, especially as from a professional photography aspect of it. Maybe for opening up like a chat, or maybe the advertising features on Facebook is probably better. But there's nothing you can dual post as well. Like, so folks, like when I advertise for these shows, whenever you see them pop up on my Facebook feed, they're popping up on Instagram. It's the same time, right?
Right. And I had that set up for an old account, the different name. An old business account I was trying to come up with. I ended up ditching that name, but that's how my personal account works. And then I run Apaches, like, so everything posted to Apache, like 98% of what's posted to Apache, I'm doing. So I mean, I run both of them, and I've got them linked. I just haven't done it. Just been lazy, I suppose. But Instagram definitely can work. It's definitely more visual than Facebook, which is why I like it better. But the networking is a lot stronger on Facebook. I mean, just judging off of what Apache does, like the insights wise, we get a lot more connection over Facebook than Instagram.
Really interesting. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, I'll leave it to your expertise. But man, I'll tell you what, guys, if you are not yet following at snapshots.co on Instagram, at least, you're doing yourself a disservice. Joel has done an amazing job at making Frank look really good. Zach and Tim are naturally photogenic. They're beautiful specimens, but that Frank guy, good God. No time was wasted on the airbrush feature with that one.
It's all about the angles.
So, Kent, what you got, man? What's new with you?
I'm just looking at Snapshots Instagram feed, and I mean, good Lord.
Look at that hunk.
Look at that guy.
Glasses are killer.
Look at have glasses on that dude. Good gravy. So, what I'm doing, just teaching gun classes and running businesses and craziness. So I want to talk about a couple things specific to Mr. Trey and his business. So for all my PPU instructor friends, I've hired Mr. Trey. Trey is going to be photographizing my class in Apache down in North Carolina here in a couple weeks. And I'd like to talk a little bit about why hiring a firearms instructor as your photographer would be a good idea. So before I go into all that, this is absolutely a shameless plug for our friend's business. But we're also going to talk about the concepts of why photographing firearms might be a little more of a challenge than your typical weddings or reunions or, pictures of dolphins or whatever the hell other people, take photos of, right? For example, Trey also, I happen to know, takes a lot of photos of cars. He's good at taking photos of cars too. Cars don't shoot at you, right? So, Trey, talk to me for a little bit about why why having specific firearms knowledge might be a real good idea for a firearms photographer besides the obvious. Like, what kind of stuff comes into play when you shoot a gun class? Shoot a gun class.
So, besides the safety, I mean, that's the glaringly obvious factor is you don't want to get yourself hurt or, or be a distraction to the class. Safety wise, I mean, I've been through 10,000 range safety briefs, and I pay attention to each and every one of them. And I was a range guy or gun guy before I was a photographer. So it just kind of fell in naturally. It's just like it's so ingrained already to just be aware of your surroundings. You can't be in front of the firing line. You just got to be constantly aware of what's going on around you in order to keep yourself and others safe. And then having been through so many firearms classes, I've kind of got a gist of how a lot of classes kind of flow. Some people will throw you for a ringer, but I can kind of guess what's going on next. And then I can find myself in positions already that I need to be in already, kind of judging off what's coming. And then I know the mechanics of firearms. So when somebody's going to demonstrate, like you're going to demonstrate how to press a trigger or look near your sights or ready positions or whatever you're going to demonstrate, I know how to find the right angles. I know what position you're about to be in. So I know how to get myself somewhere that's going to capture that angle very well. So I just knowing the ins and outs of both allow you to blend together really well.
Yeah. So I can speak for myself. I've been on the range now twice, once as a student and once as an AI while you were taking photos. And other than the time that you audibly laughed at my failure, I don't remember what I did, but I fucked it all up. And I heard you go like that. And I turned around and it was you. Other than that, I never knew you were there.
Right.
Like
that's a compliment.
Killer photos of me. I had no idea. I didn't know you were taking a photo in that moment.
Right. That's a compliment I've gotten from multiple instructors, and I think part of it is because I'm just quiet by nature. So this is kind of out of my comfort zone doing this. But in a class full of people, I'm typically pretty quiet. And then I use telephoto for most of my shooting, so I can kind of get back and be behind the students, because I make it an objective when I'm shooting a class to stay out of the way of students. I think the primary objective is for the students to learn from the instructor. So I don't need to be in the way or causing any sort of distraction from that. So just as important to me as getting the pictures is making sure the students get in the pay for it, and I'm not a reason to distract them or knock the instructor off their game. I know how watching you and Tim and everybody else, I know how important it is to take your mental spaces to keep on track and be ready for what's coming up next. So my mission is to disappear.
Yeah, well, you do a real good job of it, and I can tell you, I've had personal experiences in classes where the presence of a photographer was obvious, annoying, and in a few cases actually dangerous. Mm-hmm. Like I've had to pump the brakes on some stuff and be like, hey, real quick, like, bro, Mr. Photographer guy, you cannot do that. That's not safe. That's not okay. And I never once felt like that with you on the line, I never once felt like that with you on the line with a gun either. But I mean, certainly with a camera, it's pretty important that you kind of blend those two lines together.
Right.
As far as it's pretty obvious that you've come up with your own style. I don't know what to call it, really. I don't know if you have a name for it, but the stuff that you've done for Apache, the pictures you've taken of me, pictures you've taken of our friends, you have a very, like, I can look at a picture and go, oh, that's like Trey probably took that.
Right.
Number one, because it's good. Like, so I know it wasn't like one of us dumbasses being like, hold on, hold still. Like it wasn't like that. So I can tell, but also you have like I'm going to call it a smoky retro theme. That's the best. Like, I don't know. It looks like you make me look like I dream like I actually look.
Right.
As opposed to what the iPhone shows me, which is, bro, you still ugly as hell.
So I don't really have a name for it. I tend to call it dark. Like I just like to edit dark. That look originated for Apache. I wanted to, scrolling through Instagram is when you look at somebody's page when they have a really neat Instagram page, have all the same colors, like all the pictures are close. So it's really aesthetically pleasing to see a whole page of very similar colors and lighting and all that stuff. So I wanted that for Apache because before it was just kind of like all over the place, like visual vomit kind of. Love you, Tim. But but it didn't look very good. So I kind of developed the darkier, I guess, smokier theme. And I thought it kind of brought out some of like the intenseness of the training and kind of made it look like a cool action hero.
It looks like a movie poster. Every picture looks like a movie poster.
Right, and that's kind of what I was going for. I thought there's more emotion that come out of dark pictures for me. Like it can pull more out of you when you look at it. I can do lighter stuff. I don't like it as much. I've actually been trying to get better at it because I don't think everybody likes that lighter style or the darker style. But like if you saw in the pictures we posted from gun sets class a couple weeks ago, the tack rifle, that was a little bit different of a editing style. I went kind of bright and vivid with those, and I'm pretty happy how they came out. But definitely my favorite way to edit those pictures is kind of dark and moody, smoky, I guess you could say.
This might be the most artistic question I managed to ask all night, but I'll do my best.
Okay. Do
you feel like that style is a reflection of you, or is it a reflection of the people you're taking pictures of? You're photographizing.
I think that's the deepest question I've ever heard you ask.
That's pretty interesting. I think I might say more of a reflection on me.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it can go both ways, but I've always been drawn to the, in movies, I've always liked the action movies, and gaming, I've always been the first-person shooter kind of guy. So like just the visuals that those kind of things give you, I've always been really attracted to, and even like pictures I like to look at on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, the ones that catch my eye the most are that. So, and I've also I've always been into guns. I've always been kind of into action-y things. Just, I guess it's something I've always liked. And I feel like that color scheme, editing style kind of just encompasses that state of mind, I guess. And it's what I like. The lens I would like to look through life through, I guess, maybe. It's just cool to me. I'm sure other people may disagree or agree, but if you've lived your life like wanting to be like a badass John Wick character, then maybe it's a reflection on you too as well.
Yeah. So Frank's on here saying that Mrs. Frank doesn't like how dark it was when you took their family photos.
Yeah.
I almost said her actual name on camera. I didn't want to do that. We'll call her Mrs. Frank. Insta pretty, all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, I think it's neat because here's the thing for me. Like the subject matter is a little bit dark, right?
Right.
Like we're not running ice cream food trucks. We're running firearms companies, right? Like I could imagine that your ice cream food truck photography business would probably have a lot more pastel colors and shit in it.
Absolutely.
Whereas our stuff, no, I don't think so. So as far as go ahead.
Sorry. No. On that same topic, I had a quote. I can't for the life of me remember who it was by, but it was something along the lines of if everybody loves your art, then you're doing it wrong. I think that to have enough to differentiate yourself, you're gonna make people upset, or they're not gonna like your work, rather. Which I think is kind of true, because if I was to make a look that everybody just love or like everybody liked, then it would, I think, be kind of, it wouldn't be unique in any sort of way. And I think I can do that. I think more of the bright, vivid ones are a lot more palatable for most people. And Frank's one of those people. He seems like the more palatable ones. And I've got comments both ways. I got people saying I really like your dark stuff, and people say that I really like my light stuff. But I've had many say I don't. I've had like 20% say they don't like the dark stuff.
It's really interesting because I've had You're the second person who I would consider to be a professional level photographer, somebody who really knows what the hell they're doing. Take pictures of me for the purpose of gun stuff. And interestingly enough, you were both gun dudes. My buddy Josh, who I shoot IDPA and USPSA and 3-gun and whatever the hell else with, came up and did some promo stuff for me like 2 years ago. And they came out that same kind of like pretty dark, like I looked angry in all of them. Like I don't realize I look angry. Like I feel like I look like a cartoon most of the time. I feel like Yogi Bear personified is what I think I look like. But man, when you put a gun in my hand and you get me talking to people, I'm like, apparently that shit's coming out of me, and I didn't really realize it. So it's interesting to see that as a perspective, and it also like it speaks to who your market is, because it's funny how my wife will mess around for a minute and she'll put something up on our Instagram page, and all her girlfriends will be like, "Oh, that was such a great picture," and then none of them will buy classes. Which PS is the objective. Like we're not here for our health,
right?
And then meanwhile, like the pictures you took of me that I used on Instagram generated content and generated feedback, and I could track revenue to them. Like I'm not stupid. I can figure these things out. So I think it's interesting. Like you gotta kind of, in what you're doing, you're trying to get people to pay you to do this,
right?
And those people are paying you to do this for a reason, which is they're trying to sell the product. So if the dark stuff's what sells the product, I say for one, I think you should go for it.
Right.
I think it's also kind of cool. This is one of my favorites, and Tim's probably been your number one subject, just because he's been around for the most of the times you've taken pictures. You've gotten a lot of really good pictures of Tim's personality on the Apache page.
Mm-hmm.
And
I want to second. So while we've had Tim on the show, of course, I haven't had the opportunity to like meet him in person, but having at least spoken to him to the extent that I have, I feel just by seeing the pictures of it, like he acts and sounds and his mannerisms are exactly what I would expect based on the photos that you've taken of him.
Yep.
Like
That's was really cool to hear, because I've made it a mission here more the last few months than that before to try and capture Apache's personality. You know, that I think one of our strongest elements is that we're a group of people, not just one, and we have a bunch of different personalities to give to you. And it's been on a mission to try and capture our individual personalities and advertise that. So it's really cool to hear that at least Tim's is coming through.
My point being,
I'll go even further. I'll say that I think you do that an equal job with all of them.
I wouldn't say that, but hold on. Let me finish this thought, because this is important. Tim's is the hardest one to catch visually. It's very obvious visually who Zach is as a person. You'll see him smiling with a mohawk.
Yeah.
Not too hard to figure that dude out, right?
Right.
Pretty obvious that Frank is the one in the Joe America panties waving a flag. Like, that dude's personality. My point being, like, if you looked at Tim from across the range and didn't know the guy, you'd be like, that dude is here for some serious business. He absolutely means it. And he's 100% committed to what he's doing out here. Mm-hmm. That was my first impression meeting him years ago on a range, both as students. You catching him smiling and laughing and joking with the dudes and the different ways in which you've caught him in photos shows a side of him that we know, but not everybody else maybe does necessarily.
Yeah, that's right. Because one of the biggest feedbacks we get from students that just recently met Tim is that he's intimidating. And
sure,
if you know Tim, he's not. He's a lovey teddy bear that's hilarious.
He just stares at them until they apologize for making an assumption.
Pretty much, right? But he's got a great personality, and that's cool. I really appreciate it. It's a big compliment that you say it, that like it's hard to capture him. I never thought about it like that, but I guess it is kind of true, because just off that feedback we get from students is that Tim's a big, scary, mean bear.
Well, I mean, seriously, like you got the picture, like the classic picture of Landon doing this.
Yep.
Like that's great because that's also not Landon at all. Right? But that's another funny one. But it's just interesting the social media you guys have done. And I know you've had a big hand in this, and obviously you're operating a firearms centric marketing company centered around photography and video stuff. So we're talking about Apache as a test bed here.
Right.
You've done such a great job of capturing the essence of that place and who those people are and how they operate and how they talk to each other. That Cold Drill Friday shit, like that's it. Sometimes when you see your friends putting stuff up all the time, you're like, oh, I don't have to watch this. That's my buddy. I could just call my buddy and talk to him if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I no shit watch every Cold Drill Friday. Like I'm a fan. Like SpongeBob's coming on. I'm like, oh, here it goes. Like,
awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can pick up the phone and call any one of you dudes and talk to you about shooting drills if I want to. That's good.
I got a question then. What keeps you coming back? What keeps the engagement up?
Because I know you guys, and I know you're being authentic.
Yeah, that's why I was going to go the authenticity of it. Like when you watch the Cold Drill Friday videos, that's something that in the gun community, especially in the YouTube gun community, it has been lacking a lot lately. And that is, I cannot throw a rock and not hit somebody giving a positive review about some either useless or actually shitty product that they're just shilling for, right? When I see your Cold Drill Fridays, you guys are not only doing the educational piece of it you guys are tackling so many different dynamics within the firearms industry. You're showing and demonstrating skills. You're showing vulnerability by possibly failing at those drills, but you're having fun doing it. You're not trying to push products on people. You're showing off your personalities, right? It's really it's kind of that indirect way of like just watching Cold Drill Fridays would make me want to come train with you guys.
That's great to hear.
So,
and that was kind of intentional, there's a lot of very serious, like, this is how things go. I am a gun trainer. Listen to me. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that style. And a very serious manner is appropriate at times. We're talking about big deal things with big deal consequences, but it doesn't have to be that way all the time. Like there are times where you can kind of have some fun and let this personality out. And I don't think there's many firearms trainers that let that out on social media.
Yeah, dude, that bugs the shit out of me.
Yep.
Because like you got these firearms instructors that, everything is, yes, you should take it seriously, but you don't have to be so serious that you shut everyone down. The funniest person and the most serious person you will ever meet in the military are the same guy, and it's the lead instructor at the fucking grenade range. I'm not kidding. These guys will be sweating bullets because they're about to give some 18-year-old kid who just learned how to tie his shoes last week a live grenade and expect him not to drop the grenade and throw the pin. But he will have the best sense of humor ever because they know that humor comes across and connects with the people that they're trying to keep safe and teach them what they need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
I've never met an EOD guy that didn't have a sense of humor.
Right. Yep. And that's we've been trying to capture that and project it out into the world.
Yeah, I think you guys have done a great job with that. I really do. All these other places, all these other YouTube videos and channels I subscribe to, I know Kent subscribes to them as well. Yeah, they go to our subscription because we want an easy place to find them when we finally get a wild hair and decide to go watch this stuff. You guys, like Kent was saying, when the latest Cold Drill Friday video comes on, your 4th of July video was great. When that notification pops up, I immediately click over and go to watch it.
That's humbling. That's awesome. I appreciate y'all doing that.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's neat because we all, I mean, if we were all, here, none of us are right here next to each other. He's in Tennessee, you're in North Carolina, I'm in PA. Every time I see that, like watching you and Frank shoot those B8s under time, like I was like, oh, oh, them boys gonna get some on the 15th. I'm gonna make these motherfuckers shoot V8s till their eyeballs bleed.
Oh, great.
Like I was like, yes, this is like I get into it, dude. I really am enjoying it. And I also enjoy that y'all are not, and this is hard. It's a lot easier to do with a group of friends like you guys have. I struggle so hard putting out content because I feel like I can't be myself. I feel like I can't have fun with it. I feel like, I only have so much time. I have to get this done. It's so cool the effort that you guys have taken, to put in and put out good product like that. It's really neat.
Right. I think that even speaks to why you may want somebody to do some production for you.
Yeah.
Right. Because Tim told me in the beginning of it, like, man, I just don't have time. Like I do the best I can, but like I'm he's a busy person running a business. He's got kids and a wife, and he's got a lot going on. And it's like, well, man, let me take some weight off your shoulders and try this. And that's what Apache has been, is kind of just a trial run to see if I can pull this off. It's my first attempt at it. I'm pretty happy with how it's going. But, before I took over all of the social media posting, I was just giving him pictures and he was posting. And he was raving about how just having, a Google Drive folder or a downloaded folder of, 100 pictures or so, having that just ready to go. All I have to do is click this picture, write a little caption, and then post. Saved him so much effort. And
wait till he learns he can just copy paste hashtags from his notepad application on his phone.
Oh yeah, I've already figured that one out. I bought an app that generates hashtags, so I don't got to sit there and think of 30 anymore.
Just copy and paste the same ones over and over again, man. It's all good.
Yeah, switch it up every now and then.
Yeah, that's true.
I spent so much time on that, like just trying, and then, Soph will try to help, and honestly, I'm to the point anymore where I only post something that I think is good, which means I don't post as frequently as I should.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, this isn't. I'm not just going to put up something just to put up something. I want it to be, And I basically anymore, all I post is pictures of me actually, like actual targets or actual shooting, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like not.
Although the ones Joel has taken of you, Kent, have made you look really good. Just
right. That's my point. Like the ones he must have given me, I don't know. He gave me 20 or 30 pictures somewhere in that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And for those, I got like 15 weeks in a row where I was like, I ain't got to do shit this week. Where the Joel picture, perfect. There it goes. Like that worked great. And in those weeks, like you can look and see what was our growth like social media wide on those weeks, and there is absolutely a correlation. And then there's me taking like a selfie next to a B8, and I'm like, I'm good at this. Nobody gives a fuck.
I do social media good.
Nobody cares. Like you can shoot a 98 7X B8. Nobody gives a shit. You can shoot a 98 7X B8, make it look good on Instagram, and the world sets fire.
You need more bikini, Kent. That's just the answer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's the world we live in, man, is the social media platforms are so saturated now that it's really got to be something good to catch your eye. So, one thing you don't see a whole lot of is really good pictures of somebody running a gun. It's just not out there that much. Like you see the bikinis, they're everywhere. But like, the good car pictures, they're everywhere. But a good action shot of somebody running a gun is pretty rare on social media. I don't see it very often. And when I do, I stop. What is this guy doing, and how can I learn from him?
Yeah, I think there's only been one other professional like shooting photographer that I ever followed. And I'm not going to shout about it right here because this is about Snapshots. I'm going to represent my boy right now. But there is so much action that is taking place at the moment that a firearm is discharged. Mm-hmm. You have the movement of the human body, going from maybe one point to another, as you're traversing a range or an obstacle. You've got the feet movement, all the different all the different jointed movements of the human body in and of itself. Then you have the detonation of the firearm, the brass coming out, ejecting from the chamber. It's incredible the amount of action that you can get just from a single human subject doing something as arguably mundane as punching holes in paper from several yards away.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So it's a real challenge. I mean, I've done it. You're talking to the guy like whenever I wanted to get cool pictures of myself, shooting on the range, I just hit record in video mode and grab stills. Like that's the best I can do.
That's honestly almost what I do. I take so many freaking pictures of a gun class. I might as well have it on record.
Right. Yeah, but at the same time, I've noticed that when there is a substantial quality difference, I don't care if you've got an 18K camera recording in the eye of God, it doesn't match the quality that comes out of a properly tuned aperture and shutter speed of a still image.
Mm-mm.
And that is where the skill comes in. Anybody
Right.
can set up cameras and just record everything and take stills.
Right.
To capture photos as well as you do takes a real skill, man. And you've got a natural talent for it, I think.
I appreciate it. It's crazy. I get complimented on it. I don't feel like I'm doing anything special. I'm just, some dude with the camera that just happens to get good feedback.
All right. So let's talk about the business implementation of this. What services are you offering presently? Like, how many people can I pimp you out to? I guess is what I'm really asking. What do you got going on? What are you able to provide? What are your structures looking like? Like it's time to start selling some photos here. What can we do?
Right. So I guess that's a weak spot of mine. I don't have a lot of set in stone. I've been doing a couple guys that have booked me up. I've been doing 100 pictures for $500. That's if you're local. So, pretty much we're being hosted. If I got to travel, then we got to work something else out. But that's I think is probably the best that I've worked out for firearms instructors, because I think if you get much more than 100 shots stacked up, your page will start looking kind of redundant, especially if you're posting once a day. So with that package, I think a quarterly refresh would be good. So you could have like some rifle, some pistol, whatever you instruct, shotgun maybe, and mix all together, and some of the different like lightings and outfits, all that stuff. Guns isn't the only thing I do. My plan is to be more of like an active lifestyle photographer, if that makes any kind of sense. So like if you like shooting guns, kayaking, fishing, hiking, camping, off-roading, drifting, riding dirt bikes, some things along that line, I want to be able to capture that and provide you with pictures of the active lifestyle hobby that you like to do. I haven't had enough to really pin down some set packages, I guess. And the only other thing I really do as far as range, besides offer the instructor, a package of usually the 100 that I've been doing, is get opportunities for students to come on and buy pictures individually from my website. And those have been running $10 a piece. Giving prices out now, but they're likely to change as I work all this out and figure it, as I get a better foundation under me and figure out what's going on, how to run this and make it all make sense with the numbers.
I think there's a valid disclaimer here and a point of education, a teachable moment, dare I say, for people that might be stumbling across this video. Look, guys, when y'all hear people talking on YouTube about prices, it's at that given moment. Like, don't come back 10 years from now when Joel is like photographing supermodel shooting guns for $1 million a weekend and driving a Lambo and shit, and being like, yeah, but you said 5 years ago on the Sling'N podcast, episode 81, that your pictures were $10 a piece. But no, that's not how this works.
Yeah, it's likely to go up. Hopefully it'll go up. Hopefully my time will become worth more and the prices will have to go up.
So, you're also going to be, I haven't even told you this, but it's going to be happening. So congratulations. You're getting sold into more shit. You're going to start taking photographs of competition shooting as well. We're gonna hire you to do some of that to help promote some of the local competition shooting clubs, which means you're going to have to travel. That's a really cool opportunity where you could photograph a stage or a couple stages, and you could sell photos to all the competitors of them shooting the match. Something you haven't thought about yet, maybe, but that's just that came to me like an hour and a half ago, and I was like, I should talk to him about this. Well, fuck it. I'll just tell him he's doing it on air because it's a great idea. You should come in.
Can't back out now.
No, I'm down 100%. And that's another part of doing this is like, I love to travel and see the country. So, or eventually like see the world, but I'm a small scale right now, so see the country. So I love going places out of my little circle of Idaho County here in North Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, you have, what I will say is that you, and I mean, just don't take this wrong. I don't mean it just in any negative light. There's a lot of good people taking pictures of kayaks or hiking or whatever the hell. You're probably one of the couple people who really does firearms instruction photography very well. Notice the words I just used: firearms instruction photography.
Right.
There's a gajillion dudes taking pretty pictures of guns.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we're talking. We're talking about the specific activity of teaching and shooting, training with and competing with firearms. That's a skill set of photography that you obviously have.
Right.
It's a very niche market. It's not this just like huge. I mean, I have so many friends who, get out white sheets and get out lighting and lay their Gucci Glock up, and they do all the Instagram filters. And if you ask that guy, he'd probably tell you, yeah, I'm a firearms photographer.
Right.
Well, I mean, what does that really mean? It means you take photographs of firearms. You're a firearms training photographer. I don't know. We're going to have to come up with a word for it. But you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's
a shooter.
Yeah.
A shooter. That should be my bio. A shooter. Yeah, it is an interesting niche that I haven't met many that do the same thing. They're always out there. I've seen them, but there's not many of them. And you're right, though. There's a lot of people shooting kayaks and outdoorsy stuff. It's a super saturated market. I like it, and it kind of broadens my spectrum of what I can do a little bit. But there's not as much niche skill, and maybe there probably is, honestly, actually, for kayaking photography, all the angles and stuff. I don't know how to capture that properly yet, but yeah, it's definitely a unique skill set that I don't think a whole lot of people have, and it just worked out that I was a gun guy, then a photographer.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not just a gun guy. You're a particularly adept gun guy. You're a professional firearms trainer. You're good enough to teach classes to other humans on a range. You have certifications to back that up or whatever. You've had the time and apprenticed under Tim and all that stuff. That's different than an enthusiast who likes to photograph the gun classes he goes to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because, again, there's a ton of those dudes. Like, I can't tell you how many people come to classes and they'll be like, hey, do you mind if I'm on the other relay if I take a couple pictures? And the answer I always give is, you know what? Yeah, I do mind, because something tells me you're going to stick a camera in my nose while I'm in the middle of trying to do something. And I don't need to be worried about you. I need to be worried about 16, 8, 10, 2, 3 of you. I don't care however many I have out there. I have to be concerned about you, the students, not you, the guy with the camera. And
right.
The other thing that can happen, especially with gun stuff that I wanted to touch on with you a little bit, is Landon, like, post ago in the chat, said hits and angles is something with cameras too. Like, that's a real thing. The angle of which something is photographed in a firearm setting can make something that is innocuous appear to be extremely dangerous, if not even unsafe. Like the wrong deep angle, the wrong exposure, the wrong picture. What am I telling you about photograph stuff? My point is, if you fuck the picture up, it can look as though the instructor or the student is doing something considerably more unsafe than they actually are.
Right.
How do you mitigate that? Like, how do you express that through photography? How do you work on that? Like, what do you got for me on that stuff?
So I've captured my fair share of images that look unsafe, and I always have this internal battle, because sometimes it'll be really good pictures. It's like, but somebody that doesn't really know how to look at this properly is going to think he's pointing a gun at somebody. And you and I both know he's not, but it looks bad. So I don't let that get out. I guess put in my editing software, and then once I find it, it gets deleted and it just goes in the trash bin, unfortunately. I hate it when it happens, but I don't want the person that I'm providing pictures for to post that not thinking about it and get blasted online for something that's not even their fault.
That's kind of the double-edged sword of the whole thing, right? Like it could be a great photo, but if you post it, and this also speaks to your knowledge as a firearms instructor as well, if it looks unsafe, it doesn't matter if it actually was or not, people are going to lose their mind on the internet.
Right.
Imagine that.
Right. And that, like you said, that kind of helps that I was a gun guy first, so I know what looks unsafe, and it could be a tool to find out something actually happened unsafe and be a post
yes,
I can't think of the word, but after action report, it could kind of pan into that too. I've been fortunate and haven't really caught anything unsafe. The guys I've shot for have been squared away instructors that I haven't had to worry. I mean, that have any accidents.
No, but you'll see stuff students are doing that you didn't realize.
Well, yeah, you can definitely see teachable points. I mean, sometimes I'll do that. I'll just put my camera on burst after somebody's running the drill, and I'll use it to scroll back. Instead of teaching a class, I point this out. Oh, look, this person did this, and you can go, oh, you know what? He did do that. Let me go talk to him about it. So you definitely can catch a bunch of things that can be taught from off of the pictures as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kent, before you started throwing stuff up on YouTube, why did you record yourself shooting?
Exactly, to get better.
To see where you were failing, to see what you were messing up. That's why I was doing it too. Right? It's kind of like why we had this podcast. We were having conversations, talking about guns and shit. We said, you know what? We should record these conversations. Right? Somewhere along the line, somebody got the bright idea to put that video up on the internet, and here we are today. There's a whole career industry. There's a whole industry vertical for online digital marketing across social media, and that can't be done without people that not only know the craft but know the marketing aspect, and they know how to run the camera equipment and whatnot. And
as a testament to Trey's ability to run camera equipment, look how goddamn good he looks on this here stream.
I know, right?
He's putting us to shame.
Hey, I can come set it up for you. You just got to buy a camera.
Sure. I mean,
we both have them.
We don't know how to use them. That's the problem.
Right here.
Hey, nothing fancy. It's on auto right now.
I got the Ferrari. I just don't know how to drive this son of a bitch.
I can't even put gas in it.
When it comes to the cameras, we're like the typical gun guy. Like, I got the Gucci AR. I just can't hit nothing.
Yeah, right.
Exactly the same thing.
Hey, you speak for yourself on that one.
You got to get the lighting too. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 lights up.
Yeah.
I have a $5 can light with a red light bulb in it from Home Depot.
Now hold on real quick. We want to talk lighting. Ah, shit. See it burn out.
It only work.
Yeah. I think that is adequately summed up.
Yeah.
Like mine and Kent's collective camera experience.
Thank God this podcast is syndicated mostly in audio form.
Right?
I have a face for radio. So Trey, real quick, what about the shooting stuff like what's the most difficult thing to capture when you're doing the shooting stuff? What's really hard for you? Like when you go out, like for example, coming up in August is the defensive pistol metrics class I'm going to be teaching. And I know the really tough points in teaching that class. I'm like, if I don't land this point and this point and this point, I'm going to fuck the whole thing up. Like I know what things I'm worried about going into it. What's on your mind going into shooting a class?
So the most difficult thing for me for sure is trying to capture somebody's face and their emotions out of the corner of their face while they're shooting a gun, because you have to be behind the firing line. So it's really hard to get a picture not of their back or side Like some of my favorite pictures have the entire face visible. Like the one that I've got a view where you're coming on the corner when we were working on our ADCs. That's one of my favorite pictures I've ever gotten. But your slide was off, right? So I could be in front of you.
Right.
And the same thing with Landon. There's a picture of Landon running past me with his slide off as well, and it's raining, and the raindrops are like just caught in motion. It's a really cool action shot, and that's one of my favorite shots I've gotten as well. And those are pretty elusive because you have to have the right class to capture them really. And then you can capture some you get way off to the side, and the person on the far side of the firing line, I can probably get a face shot. Just I can get the right angle, but getting a good face with gun is probably the hardest shot to get. Slides off doesn't make it easier. With slide on, especially if the gun's coming, if you want to get like a face shot with the gun cycling and the brass just frozen in air, that's a very elusive shot.
I mean, how do you even accomplish that?
Burst photography.
For catching the brass.
No, I'm just thinking of like the shot of somebody. I mean, you're on a tripod at that point. That's the only way you're like.
Oh, to get like right in front of, yes.
Yeah.
I can remote shoot. I don't do it a whole lot, but I can set my camera up on a tripod and then remote shoot with my phone and see exactly what I'm gonna get before I get it. And then I mean, if you go wide, like and kind of sidestep a little bit, like you would be if you're instructing somebody how to do something online, you can kind of get like like a little side angle of the face, and if they got the head tipped a little bit, and you can kind of pull it off. It's like I said, it's next to impossible because when you have on a tripod, you lose a lot of control. I can't zoom, so that's a big factor. So it almost has to be a staged event for me to get it directly in front of the live gun. That's why I like slide off shots make it way easier.
Yeah. That's the other thing people need to realize too. Like, there is such a thing as a Sims gun. There is such a thing as an airsoft gun. There is such a thing as a gun with a slider. There is such a thing as a gun with a roped or plugged barrel, or not every picture of a person with a gun in their hand is a live gun. And certainly not every picture of a person with a gun in their hand is a live, hot, loaded gun. Right. Like, we're not out here teaching like, hey, look at my Glock 34, everybody. Like, that's not really how that works necessarily.
No.
But, again, internet, like, there's some keyboard commandos going, I can't believe this instructor pointed a gun at a student. It's like, well,
I mean, dude, it happens still. Like, you'll see guys that are like have like a GoPro set up on the target stand. I can't believe you had your cameraman stand. Like, dude, it's on a tripod. Chill.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like, I can't believe you pointed a gun at a student. Well, it was a force-on-force class. I was actually shooting him. You what? Well, I mean, it was literally a force-on-force class. It was about shooting each other.
Yeah.
Like,
the big masks help with that. Kind of give you some at least hint that this is not a real gun. I'm wearing a freaking paintball mask. I had another thought going back to that hardest shot to get. You can also get it in movement. So like if you're running up range with a gun at a ready position, you can capture that shot. And that's usually where I pull it off from. So it's like the basics of pistol classes like we run, like the really the intro classes where there's not a whole lot of movement. It's really hard to capture with your face in it because there's not much I can do to get in front of you. So just the whole movement aspect. So like a 2-day class, generally most of them have some sort of movement in it. So you can use that to capture that face, the emotion.
I have a request that you get really in tight on all the dudes looking at their first cold B8. Like the moment where they walk up and see what they actually hit, going, no.
Watch all the hearts break.
Well, it's like the looks on all their faces. That and my AI, Mr. Justin, has particularly wide flaring nostrils. So if you could get pictures of his brain, that would be fantastic. Like if you get so tight on Justin that you can see his frontal lobe. like up his nose. That'd be fucking brilliant.
I will try my absolute best.
So let's see what else to talk about in this arena. Gun training 101 would tell me that the weather is going to be shit. The weather is always shit on the range. Like you could just assume that it's going to be snowing polar bears or raining sideways or whatever else. Like how much of a balance have you had to strike with like super duper high end camera equipment and the elements? Like have you broken a bunch of camera equipment? Have you screwed a lot of shit up?
So fortunately, I haven't broken anything yet. I'll cry the day that I do. My camera with the lens I use for most of my shooting is all weather sealed. So they advertise you can get it wet and get it rained on. It's fine. I've had it in a downpour. It's been soaking wet and it didn't break. I got a little bit of condensation behind my viewfinder. So that scared me a little bit. So water's getting in a little bit. I haven't had any issues. That makes videos kind of hard, especially a lot of the videos I use a gimbal. I run around with the gimbal on it, and it keeps the camera nice and level. That's not weather sealed, so that's a no-go if it rains. But honestly, I love shooting in cloudy, rainy days because it adds to that dark, gloomy, dramatic look, especially when you catch the raindrops in them. It's just great. So it's risky because there's still a chance you're gonna lose your camera if you let it get wet. But it's a lot of fun. And they make bags and stuff like that you can get for the camera to protect it. I have not invested in one yet. I probably should before I break my main source of income.
Yeah. So real quick, if you want to talk about the equipment you are running, like if you were a gun guy, we'd be like, "Bill, tell us about your Glock." So like, hey, tell us about your camera. What do you have?
So my camera is a Canon EOS R. It's like a middle of the road mirrorless digital camera. I love it. I would show it to you, but it's recording me at the moment, so I can't quite give that to you. My main lens is this bad boy, 24 to 105. It's a pretty high end, pretty fancy Canon lens. I love it. And I've got a 35 mil macro, so that means I can get really close to you. It still focuses on it right now. We're doing a recording. And then I can't remember the brand name, but I got a gimbal I use, a Gorilla Pod, which is like little bendy tripods that you can get for your phone that can wrap around anything.
Yeah, mine is holding up my web camera right now.
Yeah, so it's a big version of that for the camera. So it can hold the big camera and a light and all that stuff, but it's also in use at the moment. And some lighting, but that's all in use at the moment too. That's about the length of what I've got.
How many memory cards?
Only one, surprisingly.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I got more memory cards than you do.
I should say I have one. I have one that I use. I've got a couple more. I've never had any issues. People always are scared of card failure. I've never had a card fail. I've never lost a picture. Let's knock on some wood here. That hadn't happened to me yet. And I've only got one Canon battery too, but it's always been enough. It's I can shoot all day and be close to running out, but I can get thousands of pictures before it dies. So it's always been enough for me. And I also have a DJI Mavic Pro. It's Frank's, but so it's a drone. So I can get some drone photography too. That's pretty difficult though. And it seems to be a distraction to classes. You put that thing up and it sounds like a swarm of angry bees and all to just look over at it.
Are you able to get, are you taking stills with the drone, or are you using that just for, high quality video and doing the still thing?
This video is really the lens is so wide on it that you can't really get anything to me that's worth much. You can get a shot of the entire range and a big wide shot. That's really all I can get. I mean, to get any kind of cool shots, to be able to ride up on you, and I don't want to get the drone shot or get that close to a student because that's going to be very distracting with a big old drone right in your face.
Right.
So it doesn't. It has some use for like B-roll on video and stuff like that. And you can get some cool dynamic movement out of it, but it's for the most part, I don't use it a whole lot from gun stuff.
Yeah, I shot a match like 2 years ago where dude was flying a drone around, and it was like a 3-gun match, which means we had shotguns.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, bro, your drone is getting shot out of the air if you don't get it the fuck out of my face. I'm so sick of your drone this weekend. Like, stop it, drone. Yeah, every time I turn around, it was like Amazon was following me with a package. I was like, stop this. Like, I'm not even like, why are you following me? Go follow the professional shooter guy.
You know, I've been fortunate at a couple of matches I've been to. There have been guys with drones, but they were nice enough to put them way at a higher altitude. Well, you didn't even, unless you happened to be looking up, you wouldn't even notice them.
Right.
So I've personally been fortunate with that.
That's a catch
apparently
there.
Not so much.
Yeah, and therein lies the catch, though, because you can get it high enough where it's not annoying, but then you're not really getting any useful footage.
Right.
If you get close enough when you get something useful, it's super distracting. So it doesn't come out really ever.
So maybe the hardest question to answer of the entire night, but I'm going to ask you, are you a better shooter or shooter?
I tend to think I'm probably a better shooter than I am a shooter. Yeah. No, I think I'm probably better with a gun than I am a camera.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm. I mean, as far as technical,
because we've also seen you shoot.
Come on now.
I just want to point out we brought you on here for your photography.
Well, I mean, but the I don't claim to be the best firearms or best pistols. Yeah, I'm not talking about rifles. I can't do anything with a rifle. But when it comes to pistols, I'm definitely not the best shooter out there. But I think I'm pretty good with the pistol, better than your average person. And the people that have reached that level of skill in pistol craft, I think, is smaller than people that have reached a high skill in photography.
Interesting way to answer. You are probably correct. You're probably absolutely right. That's a great point.
Yeah, so I think there are definitely photographers that know more and are more skilled than I am, and there are definitely gun runners that are better than me as well. But I think there's fewer guys with pistols that are better than there are cameras that are better.
About 100 people on the planet who are better at shooting a pistol than you.
That sounds like an awfully small number.
And well, that's my point. I mean, you're damn good. You're a real good pistol shooter, especially seeing as you can continue to not shoot a red dot and run that basic ass Glock 19 around, and you don't Gucci it all up.
Oh no, I'm running a Gucci Glock now.
Oh, are you? What do you got?
Yeah, so it's actually Tim's gun. I kept complaining about how I wanted a red dot, but didn't want to put it on my Gen 4. I wanted to upgrade to Gen 5, but I didn't want to buy it yet. And he got tired of me complaining about that, so he handed me a Gucci out Glock 19 with an RMR and a comp and a barrel and a trigger job and a stipple job and the whole 9 yards. So that's what I've been rocking for probably like a year now, and I love it. He's never getting it back.
You weren't shooting that last time. It wasn't even a year ago last time I saw you. You were still shooting your basic ass Glock 19 in Phil's class and in AEDC. You're still shooting your.
No, you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
Can't I demand a field report when you go down there for the class?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what dudes are shooting when we're down there. We'll see what's going on. Well, they'll all have their reactor comps or whatever. What are those? The erector, the eroctor?
The reactor? Arc reactor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Zach and another guy at the right. I think we have 2 of them. 3. Frank got one too.
It was very important for Zach to have that comp. He had to. Like, that's a funny inside joke too. But he really had to have that.
He had to. Absolutely made it a mission to have one.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, right. It's even funnier now. So what would you like your ideal trajectory for this business that you've started would be what? This is going to be your full-time, no shit, no other means of income other than stripping kind of occupation. Right? So what's your plan? What's your goal? How are you gonna approach all this? Like, what can we do to help? What can our audience do to help besides the obvious follows and all that stuff? Like, where are you taking this, man?
So my end goal is to, very, very end goal is to end up getting enough like physical, tangible products like framed pictures or things of the sort, and being able to sell them. I'm stewing on a couple ideas. I'm not going to say live that I can actually sell an object, like an actual picture. And I want to do that because I want some sort of passive income. You know, I'm trying to get out of trading my time for money eventually. And I think it's a good way to do it. I think I have some ideas that'll work out pretty well for me. But in the path to getting there, I plan to just keep expanding as far as the instructors I can shoot for and the jobs I can get shooting guns. It seems to be a really good market for me, because I have, you know, like we talked about before, a unique skill set that's relatively uncommon. And then just like shooting the other things, like I mentioned, I don't particularly want to do like weddings or anything kind of like that, or I'm not even sure I really want to do like modeling shots if I don't have to. I'll do it, but
will you do a boudoir spread for me?
Oh yeah, I'll do that for the guys.
Please don't
for sure.
do that. I will pay you double to not let that happen.
Yeah. I don't know. No, that sounds like quite a good experience to me.
You know, those pictures would get all kinds of play. Frank would just be hitting share on that. Frank would be like, share.
Yeah. It would be his background on his phone and his laptop and his TV and everything. Yeah.
It would end up as a print and color scheme for the next iteration of Pit Viper sunglasses.
There we go. Absolutely. He'll get some custom ones made with you all over it, Ken.
That'd be damn sexy. You guys, there's less of me coming down to Apache than there used to be. We're getting.
I know, man. You're looking good.
I'm just saying now. We could, you know, somewhere within the next year or so, we could be doing Playgirl.
Hey, man, you tell me when. I'm coming for that one.
Just saying. What about like opportunities to, you know, look at like if an instructor is looking at getting you in there, what's going to be your customer acquisition process? How do they reach out? What, you know, is there an RFP? Are they looking for a quote from you? Or are they like, you're just hoping somebody sends you some beer money and a plane ticket? Like, what's the deal? So very specifically, I'm going to make sure that a lot of my professional training friends hear and listen to this, because I don't always do this, but I'm going to badger people with my own product and be, this is going to get emailed to like 15 or 20 people. I want those people to know exactly how to hire you when they're done listening to this or watching.
I appreciate that, man. So the best way would be to send me an email at joel@snapshots with the z.co without the .com without the n, so .co.
Stop.
The best way.
Take two. What is the fucking email?
I'm coming. Hold on.
.z. Oh
there
my
we
gosh,
go.
I can't say it. Joel@snapshots with the z.co. And so email me and we'll talk about what specifically you want and how I can fill those needs. You know, if you want smaller pictures, big enough pictures, you want enough to last you a year, which I can pull out in a weekend, or you want a quarterly, or you want some video work, because I do video as well. So we'll have a conversation about what you're looking for and what I can provide that would best suit you. You can also get my phone number off of my website. I don't know if I want to broadcast that. So if you go to snapshots with z.co, you can find more contact information past my email. And same thing can happen over a phone call, a text message conversation about, you know, what you're looking for and how I can fill those needs.
Very, very cool. Well, a lot of you dudes should be expecting an email from me, because I'm going to send this episode and this link to some people who I think might benefit from your service. Additionally, here's what I can say, guys. Like, just like supporting good firearms training, or supporting, you know, good industry partners, and like, we got a guy on here who's a young dude trying to start a business, trying to make something of himself, and who puts out good product to the point where I'm paying him for it. I would really appreciate if you are hearing this, if you're not up for the whole, like, you're like, hey, I don't know if I'm going to pay him right now, or I don't know if that's the thing I can work into my business, or whatever you might be thinking, man, get over there and please give him a follow, give him a like on the face space and the Instabooks and the Snapchats and the parlors and the fucking, are you on, are you on OnlyFans yet, or like wherever?
Not yet. I haven't had somebody to shoot me yet. You know, I gotta have another photographer to take pictures of me to be on OnlyFans.
Goodness. That's gonna be on my website. It's gonna be called In Front of the Lens with Joel Trey /Redbeard. And it's gonna be all pictures of you and nobody else.
Hey, I need it.
I like that. That's a real good idea. Well, was there anything about what we were doing tonight, what we went over, whatever? Was there something that you really, really wanted to talk about that we didn't give you an opportunity to? Was there something that you were looking to highlight or pinpoint? Like, this is your episode, buddy. This is 100% about you. So do you have anything else?
No, I think y'all did a pretty thorough job of covering all the points. The one thing that really wasn't talked about much is I also do video.
Good.
It's not my only skill. Not as skilled as video, but I'm developing it quickly. I'm better at it every single day. So like all the videos you see on Apache are all that I've done. So it's pretty awesome at the time. Right now you can go and see my skill set and where I am at as a videographer as well.
Yeah. The Cold Drill Friday videos, I think, are the best example. I think you do a great job with those.
That's definitely the most consistent video to watch. And you can, if you look back at the beginning and you see how they've progressed and gotten hopefully better.
No, they've gotten continuously better. And I mean, let's be real. You can't be helped for the talent that you're surrounded with. Like, you can only get such a good video with the people that you have to have subjects on. Like, I don't know, man.
Tim Kelly, dude.
You're making some people look awful good. I'm just saying. No, it's really neat to see what you guys have put out there. So if you want to see Trey's work, also obviously Apache Solutions, check out the Apache Facebook page, check out the Apache Instagram, the YouTube channel, and all that. Their social media is growing and growing and growing, and they've got Trey here to thank for that. So go check that out. Go give that a follow as well. And yeah, if you're a student coming up in the defensive pistol metrics class in Yadkinville, North Carolina, you will see this dude with a gun and a camera in his hand. Mm-hmm. I'm paying him to take some pictures. He's going to be a student on the line next to y'all. And y'all will have the opportunity to buy pictures of yourselves from that class. Now, if you're sitting here wondering or thinking it might be cool to get a picture of yourself or whatever, a couple of you dudes are on the chat right now. Hey, man, if you're going to be down there and you're going to be in the class and you'd like to get a real deal professional picture of yourself from Joel Trey, you can pay him. What was that, Trey? $30?
So I haven't nailed down that one yet. So
$30 for a picture sounds real good to me, motherfucker. Okay. You can pay Joel $30 a picture. God damn it!
I like the price. That'll work.
Yeah, screw that 10 shit. We're just gonna, between Frank and I, we're just gonna pimp you out entirely. We're gonna make you charge for things. But they'll be for sale, so you can buy them from Trey. Awesome.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Shout out to Frank too. He's helped me with a lot of this. He actually is the person that named it for me, the whole business.
Yeah, I mean, buying the URL www.snapshotzee.com.co was a real brilliant idea. That was fucking priceless.
Well, yeah. So he gave me a deadline to come up with a name because I was struggling to find a name.
Yep.
You got a deadline. It's like, okay, deadline's here, Trey. What is it? And I was like, I don't know. And it's like, how about snapshots? It's like, that's not bad. So, and it kind of fits with the style of picture I want to do. I want to find get a snapshot of your lifestyle, right?
Yeah, man.
But, branching out outside of the range stuff.
No, the gun photography training business thing could be. There's so many cliches. It could be like parabellum media or hollow point photography or, X-ray alpha Zulu something or down zero photography or fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like perfect 10 photography or X-ray media or, The whole time Joel's like,
Right.
should have used any one of those. I like all those. But
Yeah.
obviously there's some truth to that. Like all these companies are kind of sort of named the same thing.
Going darkroom.
Yeah, there you go. But no, in all seriousness, www.snapshotz.co is the URL. So you know how we end the show, right? You know how we do this around here?
With a book and a charity?
Book and a charity. So what do you got for a book?
So I've got a few, and none of them are gun related.
Okay.
So I've Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. I read that one a while ago. That one's pretty good. It's pretty common. And of course, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Everybody's seems like they've read that one, but it's a good one if you haven't. And then Beyond Order by Jordan Peterson. I like that one. And I'm kind of doing his backwards. I haven't read the first one yet. So I'm reading his second book first. Dude,
Yeah,
genius.
there's no way you got Frank up in your business without reading some good business books.
Yeah, right. Yeah, actually, Extreme Ownership was handed to me by Frank. He told me to read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and so did another mentor of mine. And a men's group I meet with made me read Beyond Order. So that's how I got all three of those.
This dude's not even 25 getting together with men's groups.
No, exactly 25.
What's that?
Exactly 25.
Okay, 25, you're getting together with men's groups. I got thrown out of the last men's group I was in.
Hey, man, that's good for you.
No, it is good for you. I wish I was as smart as all you Apache dudes. Like, when I was your age, I wish I was that damn smart. I was still chasing Sophie around a ski resort when I was 25.
Yeah, I gave up on girls a long time ago. It's not worth the time.
Yeah.
I hadn't found one yet that's worth the time. Maybe my opinion will change whenever she shows up.
Yeah, there'll be one.
I'm sure.
That's what we call prioritization.
Priority. Absolutely. All right, so that was your book. What about charity?
Can I do Hold My Guns?
Yeah.
Then Hold My Guns, absolutely.
We've done it too many times.
Well, no, I just didn't know if it's in the conflict of interest, but I'm not doing it because of you. I'm doing it because I want to do it for them. So, yeah, then Hold My Guns it is.
Absolutely. www.holdmyguns.org. Shout out to them. Great organization. Suicide prevention, specifically centering around firearms and rights-based help for folks who need it, as opposed to draconian rules and government institutionalized stuff. www.holdmyguns.org. So, TJ, you got a T-shirt for tonight?
As a matter of fact, Ken, I do.
Oh, boy.
Yep. If you folks head on over to slingandleadpodcast.creator-spring.com, you will see the Snapshots T-shirt inspired by one Joel Trey. And what can I say? He's making bad look good.
Making bad look good. That's a great shirt. I'm going to wear that shirt in the pictures he takes of me while he's doing it. That's
nice.
Well, and if you flip to the back, of course, I had to put the snapshots.co URL on there.
Yeah.
So get some advertising for our boy out there. And yeah, man, it ain't much, but it's honest work.
I like that.
I appreciate you.
I really like that. That's good. So proceeds from the Snapshots Make It Bad Look Good t-shirt will go to Hold My Guns through that direct link. www.holdmyguns.org is the charity of choice. Thanks, Trey. Well, listen, man, I'm so y'all don't have any idea how hard it is to get Trey to agree to talk on the internet by himself for an hour and a half. I'm so very proud and glad that you decided to come on out here and do this and promote yourself and do all that stuff. Thank you for giving us the time.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. It's definitely outside of my comfort zone, but there's no way to get more comfortable with it than just doing it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You did a great job. You represented yourself well. You know the drill, right? Your time is your most valuable thing. Thanks for giving so much of it to us, dude. And I'm really looking forward to you making me look really good when I really don't. So that's awesome.
I'm excited to shoot it as well. And I appreciate y'all giving, same back at you, man. 2 of y'all's time to interview me. Y'all can have some big who's who instructor on you right now, but you got me.
Yeah, well, we emailed all them and they didn't get back to us, so now you're here. It's fine. No, man, it's a really, in all seriousness, TJ and I both, we say this a lot, right? It's a real privilege to be able to use our platform to raise up our friends. Like this is cool stuff we get to do. You're a solid dude. As an individual inside and outside of Apache, you're a guy I like. You know, everybody's got those dudes in their phone, right? The dude calls and you're like, oh, this guy. Every time Trey calls, I'm like, no, it's Trey. I wonder what, you know, like I'm all excited. Like that applies to all you dudes down there, but certainly it's not the case industry wide. There are some people that you're just like, oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah, that's how I get when Zach calls me. I don't want to. Just kidding. I love you, Zach.
You know, Zach's gonna be calling you drunk from some freaking paddy wagon somewhere, going, "I'm gonna need bail money and pants."
And pants, yeah, that's about right. You should have seen him at the 4th of July parade, man.
Yeah,
he had his all-American out, American flag cape, and a freaking giant boombox on his shoulder, just walking around dancing the entire parade. That guy's a trip.
Was he armed?
Hold on.
Huh?
Was he armed?
Say was it 5th? I'm not going to.
Well, see, I knew it.
I have no idea.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The giant boombox came from Frank, didn't it?
No, actually, that one was mine.
Oh, wow. Okay. Rocking it 90s style. I can dig it.
Well, no, it was actually just a big JBL speaker. It's not that fancy.
Oh.
It'd be fancy if it'd be fancier if it was an old retro one, actually, wouldn't it?
Retro.
It's coming back.
All right, this interview's over. Asshole.
TJ's like, God damn it, I'm old. I'm going to bed now.
You get off my lawn.
you whippersnapper, you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I remember going to Circuit City and buying one of them.
Yeah.
The heck, Circuit City?
Oh,
God.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, God. Yeah,
it's what existed before Best Buy.
Yeah. That's where Rodney would have worked if he didn't work where he did work.
And Best Buy has not been around forever?
Wow. No.
It won't be either if they keep their shit up.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, oh my goodness. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for coming on here. You've done a great job representing yourself. www.snapshotz.co is where you can find all the information. Of course, that'll all be posted up in the links and in the chat and all that good stuff. Go buy the t-shirt, support the charity. Hold My Guns is an amazing organization doing really good work. They deserve your support, so nothing wrong with that at all. Oh my goodness. Do we have gun classes? greenmountaindefense.com/training is where you can find all that stuff. Timmy Herron is coming this weekend. I'm painting steel targets and getting ready to put up walls and counting cardboard and pasters and holy shit. So here comes Tim Herron, right? Another one. All we keep doing is bringing super duper high quality firearms training to Central PA and beyond. Holy crap. So that's going to be cool. Of course, our next big event coming up is CCW Essentials at the end of July. And then Defensive Pistol Metrics in Yadkinville, North Carolina, which is selling more seats every day. So let's get in on that stuff. Holy crap. Then we got Jedi's instructor class. We got Timmy Herron's instructor class. We got Rangemaster coming up where we're traveling to take some more Rangemaster stuff. Match after match after match, class after class. greenmountaindefense.com/training for all that good stuff. If you can't get to train with me and you can get to train with somebody, Apache Solutions, Gun Set, Vigor Training, Evolution Training Solutions, 360 Performance, Modern Samurai Project, Tim Herron, Practical Performance, God Almighty. Just
goes on.
Yeah, just check the freaking episodes, 81 of them now. Most of them about firearms training. There's a lot of good people on here. When you get through all those, come back and find me. And we can officially announce that in about a year or so, we will be having Press Check Consulting come to Central Pennsylvania. Old Mr. Chuck Pressburg is going to bring his no-fail pistol class to Central PA. So that's going to be an awesome date that we're soon going to announce here on our website, put out a big media push. So we're really thrilled to have that, and we're just honored to continue to be able to bring awesome training your way. So train with our friends, train with our associates, train with the people we host. And if you would please maybe support all those folks. So anybody that you've seen on this show, I'm going to steal a line directly from primary and secondary and Matt Landfair. On social media, interactions are currency. Landfair says that all the time. The gentleman's absolutely correct, right? So what can you do to help Trey here tonight? Like, favorite, subscribe, share, follow, InstaFace, BookTube, all the stuff. Wherever you can find Snapshots, go like them and support them. Go say hi. Tell them Sling'N Led sent you. That'd be pretty cool for them dudes to see. Same thing goes with all the training companies and all that. If you really like what the guys at Apache are putting out, but you're like, look, man, it's just not going to happen. I'm not going to get to train with you this year. Fine. Do me a favor. Are you really sure that you're subscribed to all their stuff? Just go take the whole 2 minutes and go fix that for me. If you're not, please. It would really mean a lot. What about you, TJ? You got anybody to plug or promo or any of that besides all our sponsors and friends?
I will certainly go through the ad read, but I have recently took the plunge, so I will be stepping up my game a little bit, and I have got quite the big event coming in November.
Oh,
yeah. I will be heading out to Las Vegas to participate in the essentially World White Belt Championships for Jiu-Jitsu. So, for the uninitiated, the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, or IBJJF, is kind of the top line of the competitive Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu companies or groups or affiliations that are out there. Right? There's several in the U.S. I've got a fly buzzing around my head, of course. But this one in particular,
the glare off your head is making it impossible for him to land.
It's attracted to the light. But with that being said, so IBJJF, if you run into someone that is a quote-unquote world champion Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitor, they are competing and are placing gold at IBJJF world tournaments. So they have what is called the Master World. So for people over 30, that is taking place the same weekend or the same week in November. And that particular competition is reserved for blue belt and above. At the same time, so the first day or two of that competition is called Jiu-Jitsu Con Novice World Championships. So essentially Master Worlds for white belts. So I
and when is that? September?
November.
Yep. Well, you're not gonna be able to do it then.
Why?
Because you won't be a white belt anymore.
No, I'm pretty sure I'll still be a white belt there. Man.
You doctor yet?
Nope, not a doctor yet.
Why you no doctor?
No, and just for reference, for those that don't know, like one of the things that actually drew me to jiu-jitsu, especially, is they don't give out belts like it's nobody's business. You will not run into a 5-year-old black belt in jiu-jitsu like you will, say, taekwondo or Americanized karate. Okay. There are people that train 2, 3, 4, 5 years and stay a white belt. There's guys that have done 2, 3, 4, 5 years as a blue belt. You have to demonstrate the skill, and your professors have to believe that you are ready for the next level of your journey. So at that point, it'll be about 2 years for me. So hopefully I'll end up getting a blue belt shortly thereafter, but that's not my goal. That's not the part of my journey. I'm not doing this to chase belts. I'm doing this to chase skill and to prove myself in, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, cheesy 80s entrance music and all. But no, it's going to be a good time. There's several people from my gym going, several people from my team that are going. So I'm going to be staying through the whole weekend. This damn fly. That's why I haven't got my blue belt. I haven't learned to catch that fly yet with chopsticks.
Just going to put in a chokehold.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a lot of people from my team, a lot of people from my gym that are going. So I'll be staying throughout the whole event to support my team as well. It's a huge tournament. It is truly an international world level championship tournament. So it's going to be a great event. I'm really excited about this opportunity, and it's going to be a lot of hardcore training for me over the next 4 to 5 months.
That's so cool. So I'm sorry you won't get to go because you'll be a blue belt by then.
No, because actually, technically speaking, even if I did, I would just have to re-register for the actual Master Worlds and not the white belt version.
Oh, got it.
So,
something to hope for.
I'll just change my registration from I'll take it from easy mode to hard mode.
Yeah.
Increase the
This is
difficulty.
all this is, by the way. Like, if you guys think I'm actually fucking with him, this is just my version of coaching him. Much like he stands behind me on a range and yells "Go faster," and then walks away for a drink, and then I actually go faster. So I figure if I yell at him long enough about be a blue belt, eventually he'll be a blue belt, and I'll say, "See, look how good a coach I am."
Yeah, you would really get along with Professor Ray. He he has a really interesting way when you're not listening to him when he's trying to coach you in the middle of a match. It's like, yeah, just do that. Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's fine. Do whatever. It'll be fine. I can't imagine.
Or you finally like catch it out of the corner of your eye and he has gotten up from his chair and walked away. Like, damn it.
This dude ain't listening. Next.
Yep. So I'll always listen to coach.
Maybe we should pay Trey to follow you to
I was actually just having this horrible image in my head of me, getting ready and suited up and trying to get mentally prepared, and then a van pulls up, and then the door slides open.
and Frank and Trey get out.
Frank, Trey, Zach, Tim, Landon, the whole crew just piles out of this thing. Oh, God.
We have a new vehicle. It might be our permanent vehicle now. But if you haven't seen it yet, then it's a secret.
Meanwhile,
if it's not an A-team van, I'm going to be horribly disappointed.
It's better than that.
Okay.
If you watch our Cold Drew Fridays, you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched our Cold Drew Fridays? Apparently not.
See that?
I have. I don't keep track of all the vehicles he has.
Wow.
No, that's a good point.
My feeling's a little bit.
Frank's got like 18
No, he does have.
vehicles.
Yeah, but he has a bunch.
It's just another vehicle.
But none of them have been on Cold Drew Fridays. But that one.
Okay, I'll have to go back and rewatch it.
Right.
I'm too busy being enamored by the. Wait, was it the one where you forgot to record the audio?
No, didn't have a vehicle in it, did it?
Because the voiceover was hilarious. I don't remember.
They did a great job.
I come for the guns. Landon, don't you dare start with me. What's the A-team?
What's the A-team, Landon? But no, seriously, one thing that is tough for me with Frank and the vehicles thing is like what y'all don't know is there's like every manner of text message thread going on. And there's like, I can't tell you how many text messages of pictures of various Frank vehicles I've seen at this point. So it's ridiculous. Yeah. Like if somebody I know was going to have a spaceship, it'd be Frank.
Yes, absolutely.
Like Frank is the Peter Griffin of my world when it comes to inexplicably like acquiring vehicles. And nobody to the Frankmobile. Or like, you don't have oh my God, motherfucker has a Frankmobile. Look at that. It's his face on a hotel drive around. Like, why? Why would he have a Frankmobile? But he does.
Yeah, he's got so many that his HOA told him he can't park them at his house anymore. So now they're all at my house. So
because you were smart enough not to live in an HOA controlled area?
Well, I'm actually living in his house, his second house. He has two houses. But
unexplicable wealth.
The Peter Copter, the whole thing.
But the downside is I got to take care of all of them. I'm supposed to take care of all of them. The upside is I got to drive them. Have you seen his blue one? His blue, that one is at my house, and I have the keys. And I love that car.
If there's not a note in it from Dirty Mike and the boys, that's a missed opportunity.
I'm just saying, man. Everybody needs a Frank in their life,
right?
Yeah, I feel bad if you don't have one.
It's pretty close to being my Frank.
You know what Frank did for me today? So I called him. I was trying to figure out.
Before you proceed, we are still live. Just FYI.
No, that's fine. That's good. So I've been I spent hours trying to figure out how to get my main camera to do what it's doing now, record this, right? So, hey, Frank, can't figure this out. It's like, okay, I'll see if I can't come help you. And then do some more research. And I figured out, it's probably not going to work because it won't last the entire podcast, which apparently it might because it's not dead yet. So the dude goes out of his way, buys a freaking webcam, and drives it all the way to my house. So here you go. I don't want you to not have a camera, or in case your big one doesn't work, here you go. I want to make sure you got a camera for sure is going to work for the whole thing. So dude brought me a camera, just to make sure this was going to happen for me.
That's our boy. That's Mr. Frank.
And this is the type of people that we hang out with, man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But otherwise,
can you do the ad read?
I will. I'll get to that. It's okay. Folks, appreciate it. Love the live chat. Love that we had so many people jump in on the broadcast tonight. If you just so happen to be stumbling across this video, you can also find all of our previous episodes on our YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast player. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the whole 9 yards. Chances are we're there. So we appreciate it if you would like and subscribe and follow us on those respective outlets. We would be remiss if we didn't mention medical training. So darkangelmedical.com. We don't get any kickbacks for it, but code BB Bravo 15. So BB15 at checkout will get 15% off. Do be vigilant on Dark Angel Medical's website, though, because Carrie Davis over there puts on quite a few and very frequent sales that often beat that discount code. If you're going to carry a gun, you should also carry medical. And if you're not going to carry a gun, you should still carry medical. Also, no excuse to not go get training. We only ask that you put the Sling'N podcast sent you in your order notes so that Carrie Davis knows that we're showing him some love. He's a friend of the podcast. We've had him on before. I highly advise you guys to go check out that episode as well. This show would not be possible without, of course, the viewers and the fans and the downloads and the constant streaming that we get from all of you. But at the same time, while we hope to continue to be able to bring this to you for free, we would greatly appreciate it if you're going to buy gun stuff anyway, if you would visit greenmountaindefense.com/affiliate-links and buy the gun stuff that you're going to buy anyway from our list of respectable suppliers of all things Pew related. Primary Arms, Right On Optics, Brownells, Amazon, the whole 9 yards. All of our affiliate links are there. Of course, Kent has mentioned several of the training affiliates that we have. There is no kickback or formal business arrangement between us. We just like to shout out quality training to not only those that have been on the podcast before, but those that we hope to have on the podcast in the near future. Also, if you head over to greenmountaindefense.com, you'll see a resources link that has a list of qualified, reputable, and very skilled trainers and reading resources, reading material, videos to watch, all sorts of good stuff. Please patronize those organizations as well. Kent, am I missing anything?
I don't think so, man. It's all on the website there, greenmountaindefense.com/training or greenmountaindefense.com/affiliate-links or /resources. So one of those three pages should get you where you need to go. And one last time, Snapshots with a Z.co. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. God bless you. Take care, and pay Trey to take pictures.
Yes, sir.
That's it, folks. Trey, thanks again, brother. God bless you all. Take care of each other. Get out and shoot.